Once again to Coder Conversations. If you want to catch up on any previous episodes, visit us at www.coderconvos.com. I'm your host, Kevin, and I'm with.
Brian Russick, professional drummer, drum teacher based out of the Suffolk County, Long Island, New York area. If you want to book a lesson with me, you can find me at brianrussick.com.
And for tonight's guest, we have Mojo Johnson, founder, video game designer, animator, and much more. Welcome to the show.
Thank you both for having me. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. We really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on, man. It seems like you're a man of many talents. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything in the creative world, the easiest way for me to put it when I tell people, is anything you can see or hear, or interact with, I'm into it. So yeah, ever since I was 5 years old, like my most earliest memories of just like getting sucked into the world of creative was I remember going, and this is how I remember it. I don't know exactly if it happened like this. I'm pretty sure it happened like this, but going into my uncles and aunts, we snuck into a movie, Beach Street and Rescuers, I think it was, and those were like the most formative moments of my life because like hip hop was like the landscape, and then like the creative art part of it was just like the foundation, just like everything just went from there. And so yeah, those are my earliest memories of getting into the creative world. And so it just flourished from there. And then I held a Atari controller and I was like, I'm gonna make video games. Like, the worst video game
So,
in the
yeah.
world, the graphics and everything. But at that time, like when we saw it, was like, okay, this is what
So
I
you had that feeling like, oh, this is for me. This is what I'm gonna do.
absolutely. Yep. And then through there, yeah, I've always like been connected with that. So I was like into drawing, music production, but I used to
Yeah.
draw video games, draw characters and weapons and stuff on my desk at school. Like, yeah, it was always like
That's
I
great.
to create. Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah.
So, like, what were the pivotal video games that really inspired you and really made you want to become a video game designer?
Oh man, I think Castle Quest and ET for Atari. Yeah,
E.T.
yeah. I was like, and I knew graphically at the time, like even though like that was all new to us, but I was like, okay, but I see where we're going with this. And
Yeah,
it was like,
right.
and I was like, oh man, I held the control. I was like, yeah, this is me. This is my world right here. Yeah, and so yeah, and then from that, like Zelda, Metal Gear, the first Metal Gear, Double Dragon.
Oh, Double Dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a family of five boys, like me and my four brothers,
Wow.
and single mom. So like, but somehow, some way, we had every game system and like any game that we wanted, we always.
So you had like Street Fighter going on.
Yeah, I remember when Street Fighter came out. I was actually in New Jersey. I was in New Jersey for a summer. I came back, and my two of my other brothers were playing it. They had rented it from Blockbuster. I was like, "What is this?" It was absolutely amazing. Like I was missing this the whole summer.
Thing. Yeah. No, I remember just going over a kid's house one winter and he had, I don't know if it was the first one, it might have been the second one, Street Fighter 2. And I was just amazed at the character selection and the graphics, and it just kind of it blew me away.
Yes, indeed. Oh man, yeah. That was the whole rest of the whole rest of the year. Like, yeah, it was over after that.
Nice.
So, like, was it your intention to enter the industry like as an artist, programmer, or just kind of like a little bit of everything?
Man, even as like a teacher, I tell my kids when they ask like, "Oh, what should I go in for? Which modality? Like, should I be an animator? Should I do this? Should I do that?" And I've always approached it from when from the onset. I saw that I wanted to be a video game designer. I knew I wanted to create, and I approached it from okay. When I get into this, I'll probably be an army of one, so I'm gonna have to learn all this stuff myself. So about the age of 20, I started learning every aspect from UX, UI, motion graphics, 3D animation, 3D character model, VFX, all of it. And so
Wow.
yeah, animation, yeah. And I teach like in my classroom. I try and I have like an after school program, and I do like Saturday school programs. Also, like my nonprofit is a big part of that as well. But I like to approach it as a generalist because I just love everything about creating, and video game design actually touches every aspect of entertainment. And so I like just being able to just jump in and add any piece of that, like uh fashion or whatever the you know the the experience asked for at the time. Like if you know all those pieces, or more, even more importantly, having a connection to be able to collaborate to do something like that and build something bigger with a bigger, like with the bigger ideas, you know. So
Right, right, right. So, I mean, it kind of makes me think about in my networking and marketing for the podcast, I come across a lot of creatives and different industries, but specifically in the game industry, I notice, oh, wow, like you really have a little of everything. Like you said, there's animators, motion graphics, 2D artists, 3D artists, producers, creative director, on and on and on. The list goes on. It's like, wow, I didn't know. Or narrative. I think that was one I was looking at recently. Narrative design, video game writer.
there's so
Uh,
many branches.
so many different
It's
branches of the
crazy.
tree. Yeah, it's insane.
Hmm. Yes. Especially with today, where you have like where you can make those dreams more tangible and come to life with the help of. I am a big shouter of AI. I love it, love it, love it. Anybody that's not using it, sorry for you. But yeah, because you can
Yeah.
make those dreams come to life. Like if there's let's say there's a kid or a person somewhere with the lost the use of their arms, can't use their arms, but they have the greatest imagination. Should they be limited? No, this is not going to be art if I make it because I can't. No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like use the tools that you have, use your resources. You know, absolutely.
So
I
like
love it.
what were the game engines that were available when you started? Like which ones did you really dive into?
Want to start playing or getting into the creative side?
Getting into wanting to make games.
Well, I think we were on PlayStation 3 at the time when I really dove in. I think that was the system. But yeah, I've done everything under the sun, from working at NIH as a lab in the lab to a bouncer to anything in between. And like I've always, no matter where I've been, I've always taught in some capacity, and it's always been teaching something creative. And so that's like just how I love to just incorporate that like the creative aspect and collaboration. I completely, I'm sorry, I just went off on a tangent. I completely lost
All
it.
good. No, all good. I mean, would you say you're a natural teacher? Like it just comes naturally?
Well, it's crazy because when I was in school, I was like a terrible, terrible one of the students that you be like, oh, I got this guy in my class. But then, um, but it's funny because even in like I remember in elementary school, I used to stay after and help kids with their homework or help in like after school programs. And everywhere I've been, other than like Toronto, uh, Baltimore, New York, DC, San Francisco, LA, Long Beach, and everywhere I've been, I've taught in some capacity. And I didn't even realize that until I became a teacher.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So like did that help you like really understand more of game development? Because a lot of times if you really want to learn something, they say you should teach it.
Oh man. Yeah, because I would say with help from my students, because they would ask questions that because the game design I teach is more of the creative side and using that like plugins or something like that to help them build faster in case they're in that solo dev mode where you can still make that game or make that motion graphic or make that whatever. So yeah, I always try, and plus we have limited time together, so I want to get them show them where the things are, and anytime they ask something, and if I don't know it, I'm gonna go learn it. We're gonna learn it next week or tomorrow, so yeah, we're always, and I'll always veer off if the kids want to learn something different, just so we can get that, and I'll add it into the curriculum.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Now,
because
just to clarify for our listeners, is this your nonprofit organization you're talking about?
but no, that's I teach at Dominguez High School in Compton, I'm a video game
Okay,
design teacher. Yeah. So yeah. So speaking in terms of that, but for the not in terms of the nonprofit Press Start, that's where it's for the community and for students as well. So like teaching
nice.
those skills to the community and having them a place to actually go and learn those skills. Like even if they graduate, if it's somebody that 24-year-old, 25, 30,
Yeah, right.
whatever, we teach those same skills that I'm teaching in class. I have a curriculum for that and teaching them and show them how to monetize it, building up. We're actually have a platform where they'll be able to monetize their content so they can upload it like Netflix or YouTube, and then they'll be able to have monetize their content, and so people can come view it. It's a platform just for indie creators, and so it'll be just space for them to upload, monetize, network, and collaborate.
So basically, you're not turning any soul away. You're
No, absolutely
accepting, okay,
not.
you're a programmer, you're a UI guy, you taking on everyone.
Yeah, yeah, because everybody has a story, and everybody
Right, right, right.
showing them the way to get that story out and giving them the assets and the tools to be able to reach out to others and create. So yeah, I think that's super important. 'Cause, yeah, my plan is to disrupt education and entertainment.
So yeah,
Nice.
you mentioned that you weren't the greatest student. So like, what do you do differently to like reach students who are not interested in like traditional like methods of teaching? Because I
Oh,
didn't particularly care for school myself.
oh, nothing. There's nothing about my class that is traditional. Yeah, absolutely not. From the moment they step into my class to the moment they leave the door. Like I have kids that'll like come by at lunch and they don't even have my class. I heard about your class, and it's like I'll teach them how to make T-shirts for their business, or their kids love making creating content. So everything that I do in my class goes back to that. So I'll be able to reach them on some level. What you don't want to make video games, you love to be in front of the camera. I do virtual production. You can make a background with a dinosaur in the background chasing you while you're dancing and doing whatever.
Yeah,
So
right.
I'll reach them some way, shape, or form. You know.
Yeah, I think practicality and profit, those are two huge motivators that aren't probably present in most other classes. So I'm sure that really keeps them engaged. So like where's the starting point like when you're teaching? Like where do you typically begin at?
um. Uh. So in the classroom, I've been teaching in the classroom for 5 years now, and I would say last year was the big like I was settled. I like moved classrooms the first 3 years. Like every year I had a new classroom. Then at the end of my second year, I moved into the classroom I'm in now, and so I was able to get a real structure down. So I have, and this is the plan from the beginning was to have it like this, is to have every group as a independent video game design company, and so there's a I teach all of them the same skills, and then each student will have a chance to hone in on which one they want to do. So I'll teach them all motion graphics, uh, 3D modeling, environmental design, character design, animation, all that good stuff. And then I'll let them decide which role they want to play in their group. And if they want to change out or whatever, they can definitely change out or swap roles or however they want to do it. But I'll give them that flexibility to run it like it's their own company. So
Wow,
yeah, yeah.
that's really creative.
Thank you,
Very cool. Yeah.
So
thank you.
like do you notice that each of these different groups they all have like completely like unique approaches to things, or is it pretty like similar amongst the groups on how they run things?
Oh no, no, no. I stress creativity 100% in my class like that. If I see something that looks like something else, you gotta start over.
Get it out of here.
There's no way in the world something should look like something like there's
Yeah.
one of the softwares I use, character creator for creating characters. Um, they the like the base models is Kevin and Camilla. So I was like, there should be no Kevins or Camillas in this classroom. Everybody should look different. So yeah, yeah, I stress that 100%. They're like, oh, can I do this? As long as you can show it to your parents, you can roll with it.
Right.
Yep. If you
Right.
want to be embarrassed to show it to your parents, let's do it. There's no right or wrong in my class. Just learning.
Like what are some of the more interesting projects that the students have created?
We started this. So for their games, they come up with an idea for their games, and then they do the marketing promotion. So they have to make a a trailer for their game. They have to make a motion poster for their game as well. And man, it just, I had a character that was an alien with a hamburger body. That was one of the most creative ones I've seen. But I've actually it was crazy just to, and I love to see like some of the students that one of my first years teaching. I had one of my favorite students. She came up to me and she says, "Can I talk to you, Mr. Mojo?" I'm like, sure, of course. She's like, at the beginning of the school, it was the end of the school year. She was at the
Yeah.
beginning of the school year. Do I have to? She came to me and she was like, I was like, oh, okay. And then she said, now I see it as something that I'm going to get into when I graduate. Like it's something I'm going to pursue after I graduate. And I was like, holy, like that's just killed me. That's what I work for. I loved hearing that.
That's like my job is done at that point.
I've reached.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, moments like that, it's they're coming to my class. So like most of those students, I would say about 70% of them know, like they request my class. They 100% know, and like other 30%, maybe a little bit lower than that, like 80-20 maybe. But the other percent, they're like they're just in this class because they got put in the class or
Yeah.
whatever. And then at the end of by the end of the first semester, they're like, "Yo, is it too late to get your class again next year, next semester, or whatever? Can I change it?" So yeah, I would say my success rate is pretty high, and I think it's because of showing the kids that they have that access. I tell them, like, everything I show you in this class, you can take home right now, apply it, and start making money.
See, that's amazing because you think about traditional school, you're basically taught to be a worker. You're not even taught taxes, which is incredible to me. You're not taught one thing. I learned everything about taxes from my dad. He had his own business. So he taught me all these tricks and 1099 this and, et cetera, et cetera. But when I look back to school, it's like there was no foundation for that in grade school, middle school, or high school.
The funniest thing is when I was in school, I was one of the bad kids, and they put me in this class called consumer math. Best math class I've ever taken. It was exactly that, how to balance a checkbook, because back in the day we had checkbooks.
Yeah.
Those of y'all don't know. We had these things called checkbook. You had to write little funny stories about how you're going to spend your money in them, give them to people. But yeah, they taught like how to balance a checkbook. Yeah. On this, but yeah, it's wild. Yeah, everything, it just needs to be like redone, and that's why, like, looking to like the future on how things are structured, like I feel like things are going to have to be redone because of the technology and the advancements in technology and the way things are going. You will have to like change the way we think about getting this information to our kids.
Yeah, a lot of students are simply tuning out because it's not interesting. They don't find it practical, and it's a waste of time if they're not listening. So I do think that the educational system needs to be revamped to probably do something more along the lines of what you're doing, like let them make something.
Yeah,
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, and it's because like you can't sit and say do a book report or diorama of like cardboard cutout, bring it in. You can, but like there's a more creative way to do that. Read this book and tell me what happened to Boo Radley. Like, come on, man. Like there's so many other ways you could get that information to them or from them, and like they have the answers in their pocket, and to tell them no, you can't use what the tools you have to get to where you're going. Just make sure you're learning from that. So you just got to have a different way of giving that information.
Have like any of the students ever came back, like they went to college, but they came and visited and told you like, like their success stories, like based on your class, I went and decided to learn programming or learn graphic design?
So this is my fifth year. So my seniors are just starting to come back. So yeah, not as of yet, but I'll like some of my kids will still email me and be like, just checking in and just let me know how they're doing. But a lot of them, and like I said, like teach them life skills also in my class. And so I'll stop if I think it's something that I feel like they should know, even if it's like not directly related, but it's just like the common things that like how like when you get outside in this world, people aren't going to chase you around for your homework. No, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
stand up on your own too. Make sure you're at your appointments when you need to be. Make sure you turn in, blah blah blah, and yeah. So and I try to get those.
Accountability.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Yeah.
I try to reach it all. Like give real world lessons in my class, like you are at a job. Like I run my classroom like more like it's a place of employment.
That's how it should be. No, honestly, that really is how it should be. I think they need to revamp the whole system.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, because the kids are growing up faster, and so you got to be able to reach them on their level, or you're gonna completely miss them. Yeah, you're sitting here talking about how to like the same stuff the way we learn in school. You can't teach that to a new crowd. You're gonna lose interest. It's already lost before you start.
Right.
Oh, on that same again.
So, like, what are some of the other practical lessons that you've given to the students?
Um, Man, it's honestly every class is a different. I freestyle like the way I deliver the information because all the students are different. So after I teach a lesson, I'll go sit with each one of my students individually, each class period, and talk to them, see where they're at in the project, see what's going on, just in general, how they're doing, what's going on, and I try to build that relationship with my kids. So it's like, um, yeah, give them. It makes the environment more like free and not feel like classroom, blah blah blah. Like yeah, I try to keep it free flowing so it doesn't feel stuffy.
You want to switch it up to an extent.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely.
mean, it makes me think of, in my teaching practice, I teach drums. When
Oh,
a student comes in first, I'll tell them, hey, first of all, I teach feel and groove. My main mission is to get you from your head into your body.
mhm.
That's the main mission here. Because really, if you're in your body, then you could feel time,
Mhm.
and time is what a drummer is all about. You got to keep the time for the band.
There you go.
So that's really a main point. But I always tell my students, the thing I just showed you, take that home and come back a week later with some new addition, some new way that you thought of to produce this beat or whatever the situation is. I always try to push people to that level of like, okay, I can do X, Y, and Z now because Brian allowed me to to go down that lane. And I think in traditional schools, they're not really letting you go down your own lane.
Nope, absolutely not. They got a track that you're supposed to stay on. Yeah, but that's that worked back in the day, not now.
Not anymore. Yeah.
We got to change it up. change the tempo. New
Yeah,
song.
exactly. Because I know, back in the day, the educational system was geared more towards like producing factory workers, people that would do tedious tasks, and they have to be able to perform repetitive tasks without like boredom overtaking them. But now we're not in that age, so like
Not the world we live in.
exactly.
Things are changing. Right by the time this finishes, there'll probably be a new something something that just came out. Yeah, that's gonna change the world. So yeah, we ain't no time for sitting there using an abacus. Like what? Nah, sundial to check the time.
I mean, I think we're in an amazing era though, because like just say, a lot of kids are producing content now they can get seen immediately versus somebody having to take a chance on them. So like
Mhm.
what you're teaching them, they can take that, like you said, and immediately make money from it.
Yep, absolutely.
Like they could become influencers if they
Mhm.
want to.
Oh, easily,
Have
easily.
any of your students gone down that route?
Yes, they are setting up to get things rolling in that. I have a lot of students. We're starting. This is gonna be a really big year for us. Um, yeah, with some partnerships that we're doing at school and just the new things that are rolling out technology wise that I'm gonna do in class. It's gonna be a big year for the projects and the things that we're doing. How we're gonna push the envelope.
That's exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I know you've been doing this for a while. Like how have you adjusted your teaching style over time to kind of accommodate the feedback you've been getting?
I would say I adjust and pivot every single day. Honestly, like I first thing I do. in the morning, like other than um like spend time with the family, is I try to learn something new and I try to apply it and just look at something, an old problem or old situation or old project, something that I'm working on, and just look at it in another light and see if I can get another perspective on it. I have so many things that I'm working on at the same time, and so I'll just get burned out on one. So just keeping the ideas fresh, it's great for that, and like just taking some time out to refocus and try to find another way to learn something.
Yeah, so like I know, like especially programming, it's a learning industry. You always have to be learning new things. How do you like help students not get overwhelmed with the amount of stuff they need to know to be able to do something that that looks decent? Like how do you keep them from getting discouraged?
Um, I give them a lot of time and flexibility on grasping things, and like the workflows. I have like a platform that I built for them to be able to go back and go through the lessons and check them out, so they can go check them out anytime. But offer just sitting. I think when I'm in the class, just navigating, working the class, going around, sitting down with them, and working with each one of them individually. So we have almost 2 hour class period, so we get a good amount of time. So I've never run into a situation where somebody like, I'm so stressed out, I'm not gonna be able to finish that. So yeah,
Right.
our flow is pretty. Our flow is pretty. I keep it like to the pace of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds to me highly improvisational. Would you agree to that?
Yeah. Well, I'll have my lesson. I know what I'm going to teach, but
Right.
the how I'm going to deliver it. Yeah. I would.
Yeah, the how.
Freestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, our podcast, we base it off of kind of freestyle mode, improvisation.
Hmm.
We're not that program where we got 20 questions lined up for you. Where did you go to school? What was your
Yeah.
first job? We don't do that. We just kind of follow people down their own lane and
Mhm.
see what people are really about, basically.
There you go. See what comes up.
So I know, like with creative endeavors, it's possible to kind of get stuck in that zone where you're always just overthinking versus just actually getting stuff done. Like, how do you get some of those students who overthink? How do you get them out of that rut and just get them going and to actually start making stuff versus just thinking about it?
Um, I'll walk through processes with them and try to help them iterate faster, or find like a tool that will help them get it done faster, because usually there is. And that's that I've taken a lot of the hits in the battlefield of testing those. So usually it comes up where if it comes a situation like that comes up, we usually able to find like a quick solution for them to not get them discouraged.
Now, are you prepping them in a way for, these corporate environments or certain, I don't want to say hoops to, go through, but are you preparing people for kind of the real world? Like, okay, you're going to have skill X, Y, and Z if you want to be a React developer.
Yes, but not for working for someone else. Everything I teach is for them to work for themselves and build their.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Like I tell them the story all the time. Like one of the times I like experienced that creative freedom in working was back in like what was it, 2010 maybe. I got a gig to do as a freelancer to do a website for 10 G's, and I was like, "Psh, from my laptop, I can take this thing anywhere and be anywhere and make this done." So I was like, yo, look at this. You could be on a mountain in a cabin out in Botswana somewhere, wherever you want to be, as long as you got good Wi-Fi and electricity. Yeah, like,
Wi-Fi, yeah.
yeah, take orders from somebody barking in your face. On choose your own adventure. Everything ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
But, here's another path if you're interested.
So, like I know with running businesses, you can have an amazing product, but if your marketing isn't up to par, if you can't procure clients, it's not going to go anywhere. So, like, do you teach them how to like market their business, how to reach out and sell their product?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. Because if not, you create a pretty picture or pretty something, but what are you gonna do with it now? So yeah, absolutely. As and we have other I work with other teachers as well that in the school that provide other things that I obviously not as good at or don't know about, and so I'll have them come in and speak on certain subjects as well.
Okay. And how do you coordinate that whole thing?
Oh man, I'm all over the place at the school, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, those go.
Okay.
If I have an idea popping up. Oh, give me a second.
You're
Run.
all yeah, you're all over the map. I get it.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Yeah, because I feel like there is with the tools I use, there's a way that I can affect all of the students or in all of the classrooms, all the teachers, all the subjects with
Wow.
what I teach. Like there's a way that I can incorporate and teach English with using Unreal, or I could teach math, physics, or whatever, or help the teachers be able to teach in another, seeing another, having another tool in their tool belt to teach in another way to gain some more interest and show the students how to get to that knowledge in another way.
So like when I was growing up, our school didn't really let us sell stuff. Like, some people would go to the convenience store, buy some candy, and then sell it at school. So like when your students, when they create something, does your school allow them to sell it to other students?
So we have a trying to start a student ecosystem, or like e-commerce for the student body, so they make t-shirt designs, they can sell them or stuff like that. And we also have like put on festivals. One of the festivals we put on in our school is called Doncella, and so like the 2 years ago we were selling the t-shirt designs that they made. And yeah, so yeah, and I love the school and the district I'm at, that they're super flexible with new ideas and keeping the kids at like the forefront of like technology and learning. They want the best for them, so I love that. And yeah, they're all for that and for advancement of the kids' education. So yeah, giving the kids opportunities like that to be able to sustain and grow and build for themselves, we're all about.
Right. So let me ask this, for the person that's real green to the industry, person that's entry level, getting out of college, getting out of high school, they want to be a programmer, what tips are you giving them?
Jump in. Every second that passes by,
Just
we
jump
like,
in.
just for
Yeah.
jump in. Don't ain't nothing to it but to do it. I had
It's great advice. Great
see,
advice.
I had Unreal on my computer for 2 years before I opened it. I was so not scared, but just I knew once I did that, then the creativity floodgates would just like overwhelm me, because I'm like an all day creative. Like anything, I can just sit in the backyard and like see my garage door open or something and think of a story and like, oh man, I can make this into a game, or make this into a short, or make it into a blah 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 blah, any experience. And so,
Right.
um, yeah, it's hard to turn off. And so, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
gift and a curse out there.
I know that well. Like the creative part of the mind. Once you get, it's like a lawnmower. Once you get it going, it's going. And when I used to write video game music, I would be up all night, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., composing stuff, just with my mind spinning and spinning. Idea here, idea over there. It sounds like you're trying to get the kids to be able to explore all these different areas that really we should have been taught in school that we're really not taught.
Absolutely, 100%. And yeah, it seems like a lot of time I have with my students, but the 4 years go fast, man. And I try to
Yeah.
yeah, true. We try to, because like there's the things that I want to do in class, but then there's other opportunities that come up and arise throughout the year, and it's like they have to definitely be a part of this, and so we have to restructure, and then there's testing. So it's really honestly, it sounds like 4 years sounds like a long time, but it's not. And yeah, just trying to touch all of the key points to make sure that they just get the full experience and can take what you've given them and just go run with it. I tell my students all the time, if I if I go my entire teaching career and I don't see one of their names in like the credits to like a big major motion experience movie, song, whatever it is, I'm gonna hunt each and every. There's no
Yeah,
reason one of y'all, come on.
someone's
So,
someone's got to have it.
yeah,
Yeah.
come on.
So like so you mentioned you got 4 years with them. Like what are some of the biggest areas that they progress in, whether in terms of entrepreneurship or just creativity? Like how have you noticed them progressing throughout the years?
Oh man, just like really opening their eyes to, like, I'll show them a video or trailer or something that we're gonna work on, and they'll look at it like, oh, this is amazing. But then when I tell them, okay, we're gonna create this, they're like, we only got you for like this X amount of time. How are we gonna create that?
How are we
And
gonna do that?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But then like when I show them like that one key thing that like brings it all together, and it's like, what in the world? It's like when I was learning programming, I learned how to make a circle
Yeah.
with using letters and numbers. I was like, holy, I just felt like the ultimate creator then. And then like it was another time when I was working in Unreal, I learned how to move the sun. It was just like a quick key, hold command and like use L and just move your mouse around. You can move the sun, change the time of day, and I was just like, oh my goodness. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, when I show when I show the kids that, or when they bring a character in that they created, they put it in the game and then like start moving around the environment they create, they're like, holy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Now with
just,
programming, I mean,
yeah.
it brings me back to when I was in grade school, and we had stuff like Q Basic with the. Do you remember the snake game?
Come on, oh yeah,
Yeah. So
oh yeah.
one of the first things I learned in programming was how to change the color of the snake. And
Ooh.
once I did, I thought, okay, now I could do anything, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, I know that feeling, man. It's a wonderful feeling. You just feel like you can do anything after that.
Exactly.
So like how important would you say like being organized and just managing your project is, and like what do you teach the students about like staying on task and seeing things to completion?
Oh man, thought you were gonna say organization for myself. I was like, I'll have to do some lying here. I am, I'm chaotic. Yeah, I live in my world of madness. It's a lot of creative projects and everything in there, but I don't teach them that. I always teach them keep structure, make folders. Put your folder here, make a folder for this. I don't teach them how I actually work my projects. I
Oh,
look at
that's
my
funny.
desktop and I'm like, I was just trying to, like, this new game I'm working on. I was like, which project version was it? Oh, and there are 20 different versions on my desktop. I'm like, oh man, yeah. If my kids were to see this, they would have questions.
That makes me think of with music, when I first started teaching, I wasn't really sure, okay, am I good enough? Am I old enough? I was 18 at the time, but I got kind of a recommendation from a mentor, a teacher at the time. And he said, hey, I got this student I want you to teach. And I'm like, I'm not a drum teacher, I'm just a drummer. And he's like, it's all about perspective, man. Like you can teach this kid. I'm going to give this student to you and you're going to make money off of it. And he just really set that out very clearly that, you know what, you're going to go and you're going to do this and you're going to do just fine. And, everything actually did work out just fine. But it's really, talk about mentorship. Mentorship is so important because if we don't have mentors, we're just going to fall like flat on our face.
Absolutely. Gotta have some guidance, gotta know where you're going, how to get there.
So yeah, we kind of talked about your teaching process, but can you tell us about some of the projects you've been working on that you've already completed or that you're working on now?
Huh. Completed 0.
Yeah.
But I have about 20 video game titles, and that's not an exaggeration. I have the characters for all of them, and like my approach to doing my character, like I'm approaching things, and it's taken a lot of time. I've had to restart a lot of times on the game projects, but I feel like the way I'm structuring them is something that hasn't been done before. So yeah, I'm proud of um, how it's going, but it could be further along. They could be further along because I'm also doing like a nonprofit and I have a for profit and like trying to find. I'm in the process of working with one of my business partners. We're trying to find a physical space for our nonprofit now and working with partners and sponsorship and all that good stuff. And so it's like I said, there's always a lot of stuff on the plate. I feel like I'm like Thanksgiving every day. The Last Supper every day.
Yeah, so pretty much you got a really big heart
Yeah.
is what I'm getting from all this.
Oh man, yeah, and yeah, because like from one aspect, like to know when I was coming up,
Yeah.
these tools and being able to create wasn't so accessible. Like I remember, just like I started off drawing because that was the only thing I had accessible, but then I got to a point where I'm like sitting in a sea of crumbled up paper with all the drawings that did not come out exactly the way I wanted them to. And now you have a tablet where you can just Control Z or backspace and get that line just right to where you want it to. And
Boom.
yeah,
Yeah.
so and you just gotta like appreciate where we are and where we're going, and learn how to utilize it. Don't be scared of how to go forward. Just go forward.
What's really important, it makes me think about when I'm teaching, like if a kid says, okay, Brian, I want to learn this song, I'd be like, okay, great. I want you to go home and I want you to listen to that song and I want you to listen to it over and over and over and realize, okay, this is the fill into the first chorus.
Hmm.
This is the breakdown part. This is the fill out of the bridge, figure all that out and then come back and show me what you've learned, how you've learned it. Because if you're not asking kids to kind of like push themselves, they won't necessarily do it on their own. Like one of my students, he's 10 years old. I showed him this one track and he was like, yeah, this is my favorite song now. I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, okay, we're going to play it now. So we put the stereo on, he's playing along, but he's not getting any of the transitions. He's missing every single transition.
Hmm.
And, we get to the end of the song. He's like, how'd I do? I'm like, well, you kept time. Yes. You kept good clock, good timing, but you missed all, you missed every fill into the chorus or every build up into the bridge. Like you just missed everything. And he's like, well, how do I learn that? And I'm like, look, I didn't grow up with YouTube. I couldn't just pull up a video, okay, side cam drummer live at this festival, whatever. Like you can do that now. You can look up that drum cam footage, or you got sites like Drumeo that teach kids all this stuff. So I said to him, I said, look, when I was a kid, if I wanted to learn something on drums, I listened to that album over and over and over again until I figured it out. Like a good example is that song from Blur. I think it's called Song 2.
Okay.
And there's like a tom that's in the beat that like I didn't understand where it went, but I listened to the song over and over and eventually it clicked.
There you yeah, I tell people this and I tell my students, and sometimes I'll get a look that's like, what? Even when I tell some grown-ups. But we
Yeah.
live in the age of the Matrix. And like, you remember the scene where he said, I want to learn karate or kung fu. And
Right.
then went like that, boom. You want to learn whatever X, type it in, learn it. Put it on two times speed or whatever. But yeah, so there's no excuse for ignorance. Like anything you want to do, make it happen. If somebody else, especially if somebody else did it, like if it's been done before, there's no way in the world you cannot figure that out.
Yeah, because the thing is now, now that we do have YouTube, I also tell my students, okay, utilize this. I did not have this tool when I was coming up. I had to do everything from scratch, basically. And now you could just pop up YouTube. I mean, you could learn anything. You could learn how to do like general contracting. You could learn how to build a pool, build a deck, all this stuff, or like cars, build a whole engine. All this stuff is on YouTube, all of this stuff. So
Everything.
I think kids, maybe in some way, and you could speak to this probably more than I can. Do you think it's stimulus overload? There's so many different options that they can't necessarily say, you know what, I'm gonna be a game designer and I'm gonna do, Unity. That's pretty specific. But I feel like most people are like, well, I like games. I don't really know what I want to do in games, but I know I like games.
Mm-hmm. I'll get a mixture. But it's that like I said earlier, like I'll tell like, and that's why I teach multiple things, because like they're still young, they don't know, like there's some adults that don't know what they want to do.
Right, right.
So it's like and there's so much out there. Yes, definitely an overload, and there's so like the short content that people like absorb, and it's hard to stay focused. But if you have that love for what it is, you just got to find what that spark. Once you find it, I don't think there's there's any way to turn back. And I think the kids nowadays need the encouragement also. Like there's some students, like I'll make sure I tell my students all the time, oh man, I'm so proud of you for doing that. Like that's amazing. They'll look at me like,
That's huge. Because they don't necessarily have that going on back at home. So for you to offer that to a child, to a teenager, whatever the situation might be, that's really worthwhile. That's really, like I said, you have a big heart, clearly.
Yeah, and it's and it's just it's great to see them accept that too. It's like knowing that they can do something, or I'll let them know that, like I said earlier, like if somebody else has done it, there's no way that you can't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and one of my best performing students is students. She I had her since a ninth grader, and she's now further in her career as a designer wise than I am. Like I've never sold assets. She's sold assets and has her assets in games, her name and credits.
Wow.
Like, yeah, man, my skin, I like a goosebumps. And I was,
yeah.
She was like, what do I do? I was like, maybe I should have you teaching the class. I should
be learning from you.
Yeah, exactly. But I absolutely love that. It's like, you've already got this, and she's like, oh man, yeah, I got work today, I gotta get these assets done. I'm like, that is so amazing. And so I encourage that, like, yeah, find your avenue, find your lane, and make it happen, and collaborate, because like the people you're working with now, they're going to be the same people that that are in those same positions and creating that stuff in the future, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. So yeah, make those connections, those foundational collaborations, if you can, as young as possible, so you can have that body of work too. One of the things that I have from day one, my kids do, is they make their own personal Gmail accounts, and then they start a portfolio website, a Wix portfolio website, and so everybody will have a body of work that follows them from day one. So I get them in that, like, everything you do, make sure you have this, and it's going to
track it, keep track of it.
Boom, 100%, yes. So
and they could keep track of it digitally, like, and not in the back. Old days, you had to write everything out. Yeah. Now everything's on a tablet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So now they have that body of work that's going to follow them, so they can see their own progression. Like, what? This is what I used to do. I do this. Yeah.
Right. I never knew I could do this, but here I am doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. Especially in creative fields, your portfolio is probably the most important thing. Like that's so important. College, get you a job, whatever.
One day or no experience, and have a portfolio that, yeah, you can have absolutely no like real life experience, but know how to do it, do the thing. If you show that to, I know, I'm not gonna say pass up talent just because you don't have X, Y, and Z. If you can do this, we can figure out the rest. And I know, like, that's a lot, like in the industry, that's how it's looked at us also. Like if you know how to get to where you're trying to go, that's what it's mainly about. And if you can show that what that process is, that you did it and made that, so yeah. So yeah,
and I love kind of the process of now, kind of like you're talking about, show me what you can do, show me your experience. So you could have a kid 12 years old who's mastering C++, and he wants to do, AAA video games, and he knows that, they use C++, and he's like really focused in on that. You can kind of, that student could then go and take that anywhere with your teaching, because you're teaching them entrepreneurial skills of, hey, you don't have to fit into this corporate wheel that we have. You could be your own person. You could do the animation. You could do the character design. You could do the writing. you can do it all yourself.
Yep. Yes, indeed. And yeah, and I definitely encourage the creativity, 100%. But no, if you have to, you can do it yourself.
That's right.
That's what I want them to know. Yo, 1 point don't stop a show. You make it. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Know how to do it. That's what I want them to have, that Swiss Army knife. Like, oh, I can do the VFX if I need to, or I can, or know how to get the result you need to. So there are so many plugins and apps and everything that can get those. So I stress that and show. I usually show the hard way on how to do something, and then I'll show them a plugin or app or something that'll help them get that result faster. So they'll know how to come from both avenues with it.
So then go like on easy mode, in
Mhm.
other words.
There you go.
I think
Perfect.
what's so cool about the internet too is like once they can put their portfolio online, other professionals can see it and they can actually end up collaborating with those professionals and probably even get a job right out of high school.
Yep, and that's something that we're working on in school, and I do with my nonprofit as well, trying to like get work with these different companies to get the exposure to see if they want to work together with the kids and create something, or work with the community and create something, So they're getting that exposure as well.
Yeah, we haven't talked too much about your nonprofit. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh man, yes, I can tell you a lot of bit about that. It's called Press Start, and so it's basically like an ecosystem. And I've had like this idea ever since I was super young, but it's finally like manifesting itself now. Back in the day when I was really heavy into music, it was like a big warehouse where I had like different people from like homeless to vets to whatever, like helping the community. It's like a vision I've always had. And so once I started teaching officially, I was like, that's it. So this is how I can do it. So it's basically a hub where I'm teaching the community from 18 plus to whatever X, and then also having a program for kids as well. So younger than 18. And so basically teaching the skills so they can come there and say, okay, I want to learn virtual production. I've had this idea for a movie, or I want to learn motion graphics, XYZ. Take them through like a certified program, teach them the skills. Then once that portion is done, then they create the X, Y, and Z. Let's say they create the short film, then having a platform for them, is Press Start streaming platform that they'll be able to upload their content to, like a Netflix or YouTube or Twitch or Spotify. And
Right.
it's mainly aimed towards indie game devs, indie filmmakers, and indie music makers, and then like other creators as well. But so it's just like basically a hub for them to be able to put their stuff out and not get lost by Tom Cruise's new film, or the new blockbuster or whatever, or they're posting your stuff on YouTube, not getting rained out by the new meme fad going on, or next
Right.
Xbox challenge or whatever it is. Just for like, I want to see independent films. Boom, boom. That's a platform. Just say, I want to get indie games, just the indie games. Boom. Just want to hear indie music. It's just like a place for the community. And so the big idea is to have these hubs everywhere. So like Press Start Compton, Press Start Botswana, Press Start Japan, Press Start wherever. So having these in, especially in like the more underrepresented spaces and communities in these places, so they'll have a place to go to learn how to create content, learn how to monetize it, have a place to monetize it, and showcase. So it'll also be like an open gallery, so they can have an open gallery, sell their artwork, sell their t-shirt design, sell their X, Y, and Z, so basically like an ecosystem for the creators, for the indies, for the community, so they can go there and learn, create, monetize.
That's amazing. I mean, you're really creating a safe space for teenagers, adults, whoever wants to get involved. You're creating that space for them, which I think is really powerful.
Yeah, like the vision has like an academy kind of, because I want it to also be where they can learn these and get certified in these things as well. So having that, so they'll be able to get certification, and if they want to continue their expertise outside of Press Start, or whatever the case may be, or learn new skills for bettering themselves for X, Y, and Z.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're getting to the top of the hour, man. Before we close this out, where can our audience find you at, and what are some closing thoughts you would like to leave with our audience?
Madmixedmedia.com is where the Press Start content is held right now, and like a good rundown on what the program is, what we're offering. I'm a one-man army right now, so I'm still putting it all together. So you can get a lot of the contact information there, and then my contact information is there as well. And then closing thoughts, just like I'm just anybody that sees this, I just want it to be known that working for looking out for collaborating sponsorship with for the nonprofit as well. I'm definitely looking to expand it and get things going. And Press Start. Look out for Press Start, and I can be reached at Mojo Creative, the number one at gmail.com. I appreciate the time, you guys. This was amazing. I appreciate you guys and the time for this.
It was a
Absolutely.
pleasure having you on the show, man. Anytime you want to come back, let us know.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, no, we'd love to have you back on. I think we're only just kind of scratching the surface on a lot of this stuff.
I'll have hopefully I'll have some stuff I can show you guys next time too. I would love to share some of the content, student work, and stuff that we're working on as well at Press Start.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we look forward to it. But on that note, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next time.
All right.